Times best-selling author Jodi Picoult is joining me in studio. Now, I absolutely love her new novel, Leaving Time. Hello.
Hello.
I'm so excited that you're here.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, are you enjoying South Africa?
I am. I love it here.
How long have you been here for?
I got in about a week ago and spent a few days in Botswana, and then we came down to Cape Town.
Nice.
Yeah.
What about this weather?
It's a little hot.
It's
it's very cold where I live right now, so this takes a little adjustment.
Okay, now you've written 23 novels.
Yes.
Is that correct?
If you say so. I'm not keeping count, but that sounds about right.
3 novels.
Yeah.
Does your husband still give you a balloon to congratulate you?
Yeah, sometimes it's a balloon, sometimes it's plates that say congratulations on the new baby, things like that. It's actually, it's a nice little tradition.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Cute. Now, I have a few questions I want to ask you about books in general before we get into Leaving Time. And my first one is there one book that you've written that you still go back to and it's just your favorite and it stays with you?
I do have a favorite. It's for writerly reasons, though. The book is Second Glance, and it was my favorite for a couple of reasons. First of all, it is about a period of time in America that very few Americans know about, when we were in the business of racial hygiene prior to Hitler. And actually, if you read Hitler's notes on Nazi Germany, he credits Vermont, Virginia, California, Illinois, and all these great American states that did his homework for him. So it was really fun to illuminate that little period of time in the early 1900s. But it also had some of the most amazing, fun research I've ever done. I got to go ghost hunting, and things happened that were pretty extraordinary that I still can't explain, and I just had a blast.
Tell me about ghost hunting, because I see these shows on TV where they go ghost hunting, and it's unbelievable to me. What was your experience like?
So I went out with these guys who actually now do have a show on TV called Ghost Hunters. I don't know if you have it down here, but they're really, really nice guys. And when I met them, they ran a paranormal society in Rhode Island, and they were plumbers. This was something they did on the side. And they took me out first to a place in Rhode Island that was a mental institution that closed in the 1970s because people were dying in their care. And at one point, we were looking through boarded up slats in a window, and it was very cold. It was our winter. And you could see what looked like fireflies, little glowing bugs, which don't exist in the winter in America. And one of the guys took a digital picture, and those fireflies turned into these great big balls of light. And that's what a ghost hunter would call a globule. It's energy-changing form. And I wasn't really believing him. We started walking.
That was my next question.
Nope. Then we walked through an area where a building had burned down with people in it, and all the hair stood up on the back of my neck. And a guy takes his camera and takes a picture behind us. And the actual picture had this white, misty thing in it, even though when we turned around, it was as black as my dress is now. It was just completely clear black night. So I said, okay, maybe you guys have a point. And from there, they took me on a ghost hunting call to a home where they had been hearing things in the attic. And we went upstairs. They gave me the keys to the attic, and I opened the lock, and they went up and set up a video camera, which you see on the shows. They run tons of video footage and then go over it to see if there's something that might be paranormal. And the video was started. The ghost hunters went downstairs to talk to the owners of the house. I stopped off on the second level of the house because the family had 2 children, 2 babies asleep in 2 different cribs in 2 different rooms. They were fine. Everything was quiet. The rooms were impeccable. And went downstairs, and the ghost hunters were talking to the owners about how they've come home to find all the faucets running. They've come home to find cereal spilled out of the kitchen cabinets into a pile in the middle of the floor. They've heard calliope music in the middle of the night, traced it to a child's toy piano playing without batteries. So then I went upstairs to check on the kids, and where there had been nothing on the floor, 10 minutes earlier, there were 6 pennies that were lining the edge of the crib in an L shape. And I picked them up, and they were all dated between 1968 and 1973. I went into the next kid's room, same thing, where there had been nothing on the floor. There were 6 pennies in an L shape, and they were all dated between 1968 and 1973. Took the key out of my pocket, opened the padlock, went upstairs to the attic, and under the video camera tripod, as if someone had gone, were another 15 pennies, all dated between 1968 and 1973. In America, those coins are out of circulation. So if you find one, it would be remarkable. To find 25 in a row is ridiculous. And the ghost hunters eventually decided, based on their video footage, there was something paranormal. They wound up going back to the house 2 times and eventually did research and found out that 2 people died there in 1968 and in 1973.
That's freaky.
It was really, really interesting. I mean, really interesting.
Do you believe in that?
So
kind
what they
of
will
thing
tell
now?
you, what the ghost hunters will tell you is you shouldn't believe unless you have an experience, and that skeptics keep other people honest. So it's important to not believe if you haven't had something like that happen to you. But if you ask your range of friends, probably one of them has had some kind of weird paranormal experience that they can't explain, can't deny.
They have. Weird.
Yeah.
You just freaked me out now.
Sorry.
It's okay.